Just when I thought I was done, you pulled me back in.
I wonder if she's got it in my thighs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's moving. So creepy into the night. Hey guys, welcome back to Rewatch Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, and tonight's the night. Montel Williams. This is how we do it.
The Maury Povich show is going to have the reveal of whose baby daddy that motherfucker was. Is it Clarice or Tyrone's baby? Clarice is a girl's name. I don't know.
Explains it all.
Fuck it.
And we're going to explain it all. This is a non-spoiler review for it. We're also going to do a spoiler review, but let me just start the show off with saying, you know the goddamn story. You know the story. And I've been hearing people say, not to call this a remake, that it's more from the book and it's not a remake of the miniseries.
It's a remake.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it hit so many beats that the miniseries actually hit in the same way that I think, for me, it's still a remake. That's just how it feels to me, but it's everything you hoped it would be. All of you hoped and more.
The tone of the movie is definitely on its own caliber rather than what the... No, I'm not saying the TV show was bad. It was good. I like the original one, but this one is remaking it as far as like the technology's better, the production's better, they got more money behind it. So they're taking what they did in the TV show, which was loosely, you know, there was a lot of stuff from the book they used in the TV show. They're taking that and then improving on it and adding some elements into it. And fuck beans, do they ever?
Yeah. It was.
I mean, if the clowns weren't scary enough already, I mean, now, wowzer. And by the way, the only time that I would get into a fucking suit... You know what? You've got hair on them. You should stop whacking the mole.
I have 2 children. It's hard sometimes to make time.
You're petting it. One day you're going to braid that fucker. No, the weird thing is the only time I would ever get into a sewer with a clown is if it said 2 things. 2 magic words. It was like, hey, do you want your boat back? I was like, no, I'll just make a note. I was like, how about I forgive all your student loan and give you a 6-pack? Like, okay, move the fuck over. Let me get in this bitch. That's the only way that I would get in there. Otherwise, no, I'm not going to get in there. Saying that, let's move on.
Don't lie, dude. You do it for just the 6-pack. I know you.
It depends on how bad of a day it was.
Depends on what day of the week, when the paycheck lands.
Monday, yeah, exactly. If it's the second fucking week, if it's the second week, I'm good. Thanks, man, I got my money. If it's the first week, I'm kind of broke.
You're so stupid though. The second week, you'd buy him a 6-pack. You'd be like, no, here you go. Dude.
No, I was like, okay, move the fuck over. Let me get down in this bitch. Where's the goddamn beer? It's like, well, actually, can you spot me too? I'm like, let's get a 12-pack. Come on.
We're gonna do it.
Anyway,
but no, I was gonna say the original miniseries. There's amazing parts of it, mainly Tim Curry. That are just like special and they're amazing. And something interesting, I saw someone say that the reason so many people our age, old ass motherfuckers, have such a love for that movie was because their parents wouldn't let them watch horror movies at the time. But this was on TV, so they would let people watch it. And that clown was scary as fuck, so people have this deep love for it, even though it's got a lot of problems with it. But it is the perfect. When you talk about movies that are they going to get a remake? Should they get a remake? It's the perfect thing. Well, because it has great moments in it. It's based on a scary ass story, but there's a lot of bad shit in it too.
Bill Skarsgård really fucking knocked this bitch out of the park. Like he really fucking nailed it. And I didn't think, like when I you know they showed stuff in the trailers, and I was like, okay, they're gonna give it away. Like this stuff, you know, like the projector screen stuff. You know, you saw. I was like, okay, well that's the payoff, and not much else. There's a lot more that fucking happens during those scenes, and they're scary as shit beans. Scary as fuck.
Yeah. There's one scene in particular, and I don't want to say which one it is because I want you guys. We're gonna do a spoiler review for that. I'm just gonna say big. I'm just gonna say big.
Huge.
Huge. We're gonna build a wall. But no, it's fucking. There's
clowns.
There's literally one scene in particular. The movie is scary, and that's the only thing you want to know. It's scary. There's one scene in particular, and this. If you guys know, if you've watched the channel, you know me. I don't get freaked out like you do about stuff. Like you get freaked out. You know, Jay's doing this shit.
I didn't do that today.
You didn't do that today, but
I did do
you did the talking thing where you try to crack jokes to make yourself.
Well, maybe you could have
like, Jay, I'm trying to fuck. No, I was like, fuck you. I'm trying to watch this shit.
You could have laughed.
I have to immerse myself deep to let it scare me at all. I don't want to. But there was one scene in particular that even for me, and it's hard for me to get truly scared in movies, there's one scene that happened that literally when it was over, I was sitting there like, I know, you looked at me and I was like,
no, because you did one of these. You're a fucking mouth breather, dude. Sometimes you breathe a lot. Like
so do you. I can hear you breathe the whole movie.
But you were doing this
even with your mouth closer.
No, you were doing this. When you're into a season, no, dude, when you're into a scene, you're like this. And I knew it was bad because you were fucking hardcore. When it was over, you went.
I did. But this one scene happened, and there's lights flashing, and there's crazy shit, and it actually shut. It was a jump scare, but it was a continuation jump scare.
Yeah.
Like, the jump scare happened, but then it kept coming at you, and it was coming at you in different angles, and there was all. And I literally was sitting after it was over. I legitimately thought to myself, I thought I might have to go in the hallway for a second.
It has, yeah.
I feel a little shell shocked right now, and I might have pissed my pants.
Dude, I had to go piss earlier in the film, and I was so scared coming back to the theater that I was gonna walk, because we were sitting really close to the front.
Fall down in the aisle.
Dude, I couldn't avoid it, because it was a small theater, so you know we didn't have like arena seating, so it was just like a straight shot down to where our seats were. So I was afraid that I was gonna walk. I was trying to like if there was a moment there was gonna be something scary on screen, and I couldn't really avoid it because even when you walk down like this, you're still gonna be weird. I thought something was gonna happen. I'm like, fucking like trip and roll all the way to our seats, but luckily that didn't happen.
Brings us to another topic that people are going to want to, is it all jump scares?
There's a lot of jump scares in it.
Listen, there's two things to talk about here. There are a lot of jump scares, and you definitely want to see it in the theater. Don't wait for DVD or whatever. No. Go see it in the theater, because the sound being so fucking loud and just the whole presentation really does add to the fear and the scares. There are a lot of jump scares, but as we said, some of those jump scares continue, and they add an extra layer of creepiness to it.
I was gonna, yeah, the jump scare happens initially, and then when that's over with and your adrenaline's pulsed up, what they do is they add in creepy imagery and shots and effects that fuck you up. Like, it's not just like you get the initial, oh shit, and then it's not over yet. Then they ramp it up. They go crank on that bitch.
There's certain scenes where you think it's over and it's not fucking over. Yeah. So it really does, like, fucking bang, bang,
it's kind of like this. I got pissed a few times, you know, because it'd be a boom, fucking, I'll be like, oh shit, it got me. And I was like, savor the flavor, because that's not going to happen again. Savor the flavor. And then 5 seconds later, it happened again. Yeah. I've shit my pants 3 times, maybe sharted twice.
And the thing is, I only have tiny little complaints about this, and that's that the movie does, I think, for me, blows its load a little bit early, just like I'm used to doing in my life.
We are guilty of that.
We all are, guys. Let's just admit it.
Just be honest.
No one's
with yourself.
special.
We're all here together.
No
Stand up and say your name, Jonathan.
We would all like to last a little bit longer in the game of life, but you know what I mean.
We don't have He-Man dicks.
Talking about that, Steven.
I don't think they need visual representations.
But no, it does for me. There's a point where it hits a high note. A crescendo, if you will.
A crescendo.
Jay.
Very sexual.
And I'm really like, oh, shit, fuck. And I actually thought the movie was going to end at this point. And I thought it seems maybe a smidge early, but it felt right. I thought the movie was going to end on this part. And then it kept going, and there's a whole nother tale to tell. And I felt like the actual ending...
Say that 3 times fast.
Tale to tell, tale to tell, tale to tale.
You're really impressive.
Darkwing Duck, all right.
Let's get dangerous.
I thought that... the end didn't quite live up in the same way as a few of the scenes in the middle of the movie did.
Yeah.
And the only other tiny fucking nitpicks that I have. Let's talk about the Losers Club. I felt like the kids were fucking awesome.
They were great.
The jokes were nasty and dirty and filthy and hilarious, and you know we love that shit here.
Well, because
there's a lot of cock jokes, a lot of fuck words.
There's a lot of cocky jokes. But you know what? I'm glad they didn't shy away from that part either, because if you're a kid in middle school or you know, probably going into high school, the thing is you're not going to be like all worried about Disney flavored fucking language. You're not going to be like, gee willikers, you better not do that or mother will be pissed.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, you don't got to do that. You know, the guy was like talking about, there's one scene where they go into the abandoned weird, you know, house, the well house or whatever they call it, I can't remember. And the guy's like, I can't believe I drew the short straw. He's like, if we were measuring dicks, you guys would be in trouble. Because, you know, it's just, it felt like they captured the angst of like a middle school kind of language.
Is funny as fuck.
Richie
I like this Richie way better. I'm just going to say I do.
It's better.
He's funnier. The jokes, like the other one, he was kind of like clownish and like stand-up comedian. And this one, he's just a funny fucking kid. So, again, the translation from that time to this time really works out. The only tiny nitpick I have about the Losers Club is it felt like they did try to... They try to force a little bit. Like, some of the activities the kids would do together just felt kind of weird. And I never really felt like, maybe, not cohesion, but I just never felt like I knew what it was like.
They felt like actors in a movie being friends.
I never felt like I knew what it was like to hang out with these kids in this time. Because
I don't hang out with kids in that time.
You know what I mean? Like, to be a kid in that time, that never really hit me. There's some emotional stuff. You care about the characters. The kids act well and they're hilarious. But as a group... There's a tiny little bit of that missing that just it could have went fucking.
It's missing the secret sauce.
It could have swung for the stands and it never really landed that, and they tried it a couple times. It didn't really work. But again, these are nitpicky things. I might as well give my rating since I just gave the bad stuff. We'll keep talking, but I just want to say it's a 9.5 for me because movies don't fucking scare me, and I don't have a huge fear of clowns. It's not just the clown. But there are some moments. They did such a good job with the effects and the way that this was shot, and not just the jump scares, but they just kept fucking punching you in the dick over and over again in certain scenes.
My stomach hurts.
And
because of how you punch me in my dick.
Tiny little things to take away from it, dude, but it was almost absolutely fucking perfect. And to be honest with you, I'm really not sure you could expect a better movie than this was.
I'm gonna go with you on this adventure and say 9.5 as well.
Me to
we will get to the volcano
not
together.
Literally.
No, I don't want to take you there.
No,
ever. I'll take you and drop you off at some place called I don't want to.
Like fun fuck. Like confetti. Like fire, and Daenerys.
Like I know,
dragons.
Yeah, where's that fucking theme park?
That kind of fuck.
Where's that theme park?
I don't want you to have.
Have they built the expansion of Disney World yet? I don't know.
Sex with you.
Where's that? They captured the '80s feel fucking perfect, beautifully.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching Stranger Things on the big screen. Because if you guys love Stranger Things and the way those kids were, and the way that the visual stuff looked, and the production sets and all that, they have it all there. Like there's one moment where you see Batman and Lethal Weapon 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5 on the billboard or the marquee for the theater. It's all there. Like, and the posters. This one kid in his room, he's got a badass room. I was like, I want to fucking be your friend if you were fucking my age, because that's weird if you were. Never mind. He had a Gremlins poster. He had fucking like a cool, another couple posters.
And it comes full circle with that too, because Stranger Things plays off of it, and it felt like this had some of the Stranger Things in it.
So overall, yeah, it's solid as fuck. It's solid as, and again, I don't think you could have got a better. I know everybody's going to say Tim Curry, and I do appreciate and love Tim Curry. I think that his clown version of Pennywise is always going to be #1. But Bill Skarsgård, I'm not comparing them. I don't want to, because they're so
different.
They are so different, and his is more of a. It's not just his version of it, but just the overall feel of the movie. Sometimes it feels like it's pedophilia almost. It's like it's just fucking infested with pedophilia. Because you got fucking him being weird in the sewer, talking to that kid wanting a balloon, and just the way he talks to it's like really creepy.
It's darker on purpose.
Yeah, and then you got the pharmacist that's fucking like trying to get with this fucking 13-year-old girl because she's flirting with him to get, you'll see. And then the mother of that weird like Weasley kid,
I want to hit her in the
she's nasty, and then the fucking dad. They really played that part up with Beverly. Beverly's character, they really play up that weird relationship she has with her father, and they weren't shying away from it. Like the TV series did what they could with it, but this one they don't give a fuck.
Actually, I like Beverly in this one a lot more too. And dude, the thing is that the way it's directed, just the whole thing is from a directorial standpoint, it's a masterpiece.
It's really
the
good.
shot and the cinematography, dude, Machete or however you say his name, dude, knock that fucking out of the park. The movie's glorious to fucking look at. It's asunder. I don't even know what that word means.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
But dude, it's something to feast your eyes on. Like I'm gonna say The Shining. It's not on that level.
It's not. No,
I'm not
Kubrick.
saying that,
it's not Kubrick.
but I can watch The Shining and not even pay attention to the movie and just like wow at like the framing
shots,
and the shots and the way it looked. And I could do that with this too. Like it looks so good from beginning to end. Maybe a little bit. The last tiny nitpick I'll give is the very ending. I felt like they just for a second got a little bit loose with the CGI. But when you compare how they got loose with everything in the first one to how they did it this time, it's night and day.
Sometimes you gotta cut Footloose. Footloose.
I need a hero.
You know what the thing is? Yeah, you're right. The shots are amazing. The guy's done a phenomenal job. I didn't know who he was, and Mike mentioned that he was the guy that directed Mama, and there are elements in Mama that you can see in this. Like Mama to me was a fucking awesome movie. It was original, it was different, it had shots that were cool, that were scary, and the thing about this guy, this director, is he knows that you can go with a cheap jump scare and have no payoff whatsoever, except for like a boom, oh my god, it was a cat, haha, I'm fine, no worries.
It's the Batwing,
But what they do is he goes from like a scary moment, like, I made you dribble a little bit pee, now I'm gonna make you shit your pants in front of your girl, because he doesn't let up. He cranks it up further and goes an extra step that makes and elongates that fucking moment and makes you terrified as hell. Because you mentioned the shed or their garage scene. Well, that fart was fucked up. That was
fart.
That fart was smelly. I'm gonna say fart.
That fart was fucked up, man.
That fart did smell in my face.
What?
But that part was smelly and stinky, and it scared the shit out of me too. But the one that got me was another scene. Because again, it's playing off everybody's fear. This one kid's scared of this really fucked up painting that his dad has in his office, and this motherfucking bitch comes out of it.
Talk about that heavy-headed bitch.
And she's like, and it's all like morphed up and weird in her face.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you capture what it feels like to be drunk at a bar and just try to get with a girl, and you're like drinking until it fucking looks good, and then when you wake up, you're like, whoa, that's what I fucked. But
I thought you meant because you can't hold your big head up because you're so drunk, and you're just like slapping on the bar.
Yeah, she's fucking running around. Yeah.
She looks like someone smashed a penny together at a museum.
I don't want to tell you what happened, but there is one scene in the sewer with that bitch that comes out, and it's I don't know why, it just was none of it was so subtle. There was nothing really like, it doesn't ramp up, it doesn't have this jump like scary music or anything. It's just what she's fucking doing, and I was like, I'm the leprechaun. I had one of those moments like if I had a drink, I'd be like pouring out.
9.5 for both of us. We love your fucking faces. Spool review coming soon. God damn it! It is worth every fucking ounce of anticipation we've all had deep into our heads.
I think the tagline should read this: a horror thrill ride through a haunted house, crazy and different. You will shit your pants.
Yeah, I just cut out the rest. I'm gonna edit that.
That should be.
You will shit your pants.
That should be the whole thing. Like that's what Rotten Tomatoes needs to do.
A movie almost gave me a panic attack. I'm not. The whole thing's.
Yeah, I've never seen you want to just go outside and have a moment.
I did, dude.
I need a moment.
The whole movie's not like that. It's not like the whole movie's not like this entire, because they do the It story, like the Losers Club and all that. Yeah. It has its place here, so it's not like a scary, gonna shit your pants movie from beginning to end, but there are parts in it that absolutely will make you shit your pants.
It's got parts in it. Yeah, it's a horror movie at the base, but it's also a charming movie in the fact that it captures the late '80s and that friendship kind of thing pretty well. You know, even though we do have some disagreements about how they felt, like how they moved towards it, but still, I've never known you to fucking have that's what you need to take from me when I lean over to tell a stupid fucking joke. Reciprocate, bitch. Because that way
you take me out of the movie, you stupid asshole.
No, because I'm trying
watching
to
something and you go, ooh.
Okay, well fine. I'll just let you fucking fall off the wall.
Or you go, oh my god.
That scared the shit out of me. See, that dick is fucking killing you right now.
I hope you die.
Oh.
You're floating.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.